to the face, you're fine the next day. Yeah.
Reinflate. You would see guys weigh in, and the only guy who freaked me out was Yoel. Yoel Romero would look so big at 185. You're like, how is that 185? How is it even possible? He looks like a heavyweight.
I've known Joel since he got to America, and I was a fan of him before. I remember watching him compete in the Olympics, and obviously he's Cuban, so my whole family, everybody, we're always cheering for this dude. This dude was like just fucking Roy Jones Jr. type cloth, you know?
And he
doesn't
didn't
lift
even
weights.
start in the UFC till he was 36.
And he doesn't lift weights, and he looks like
He doesn't lift weights?
Maybe he's lifting weights now, but when we were training constantly together, it was just push-ups, pull-ups, squat jumps. He'd do a lot of body workouts, and he looks like he's a fucking pro bodybuilder.
He's the freakiest of the freaks in terms of like athletic freaks, just extraordinary athletic freaks.
And dense. Out of everybody that I've trained with, I've never felt someone denser. I remember he had just started, and so we'd always trade techniques. He's showing me what he would do in wrestling in certain positions, and I'm showing him like in striking. And
Yeah,
I'm talking about
here's
like
him warming up.
crazy flexible.
Crazy flexible, crazy athletic. But, I had him on the podcast, and Joey Diaz translated. It was amazing.
That was bad.
It was amazing. Joey's going to help fill in the blanks, and we'll be able to have some good communication here.
I just wanted people to know who the hell Yoel Romero was. We talked about Cuba and his humble beginnings, how he went to school from Monday to Fridays at a pyramid, and you just wrestled.
But he was talking about the Cuban program. He goes, they turn you into a machine. They turn you into a machine.
Tienes que prepararte mentalmente.
Do you know how you prepare yourself mentally for that?
How do you?
Tienes que ser verdaderamente una máquina.
You have to become a fucking machine.
Pero no, but it's not only machine in the fight. In the fight. No. Machine in your life.
Yeah. He goes, you can eat.
That's what he
yeah.
Those were his workouts back then.
Yeah.
Literally. He'd do like 50 of those, then take a break, and then he'd do another 50 of those, and that was his weightlifting.
It's extraordinary because, the guy, because he didn't want to gas out, rarely used his wrestling. And he's one of the best wrestlers ever. His flying knee knockout of Chris Weidman is also one of the greatest of all time.
His debut UFC, he gets a flying knockout. He's with me and my trainer, Paulino Hernandez. And I've landed the knee a couple times in Japan and hurt guys and gotten some good success off it. So we had team fights. He's like, hey, man, I want to learn the flying knee. So we showed it to him, like, not lying, 2 weeks and like 5 days before his fight. And we showed him a quick little setup for it. You go forward, you go back. You go forward and you go back, and when he goes back, if he comes forward, you jump with it. And fucking his first UFC fight does it. He literally, I saw it with my own eyes. He learned this technique 2 fucking weeks before.
Here's the Weidman fight. It was a good fight.
It was a great fight.
Boom.
And then fucking the cat likeness, how he landed and everything. Oh my God.
He was extraordinary. He's just a freak. Do you know when they brought him to Australia? I've told this story before. Forgive me if you've heard this, folks. They brought him to Australia, and he had a fractured orbital, and they brought him to the doctor. So he gets examined, and then the doctor calls the UFC, goes, where did you get this guy? And they go, what do you mean? And they go, he's a fucking specimen. And he goes, oh, yeah, he's amazing, right? And they go, no, you don't understand. He goes, I've been a doctor for 50 years. I've never seen someone like him. He said the tendons in his eyes are 3 times larger than a normal person's. He said the orbital fracture, it's already healing.
I used to kick this guy in like in the leg or the fucking forearm, and everybody that he's fought always says it, And you saw his performance with Izzy. I think he hit Izzy in the first round. Izzy kept like touching it because he truly is the most dense guy I've ever worked out with. And
that's what Luke Rockhold said. He was like he was made out of metal.
Bro, it's not a fucking lie, bro. And it's crazy because he didn't lift weights, push-ups, pull-ups, those jumping shit, but he would be very disciplined with it. Like no matter what he did, boom, every day he had like his little set of doing things to keep himself in shape. And remember, he got, like you said, he got into the UFC at what, 36, 37?
36.
If he comes over from Cuba after winning his first world championship, was at 19 years old, is the first one that he won it. And then, then he sold matches and did what he had to do to get money. If he comes in at like 19 over here, he's like numerous time champion and at different weights, bro.
100%.
And the ability to learn for that guy too was unparalleled, bro.
Yeah, no, it's like there's levels to athleticism, and he's
he's a mean guy too.
Oh yeah, nice guy too.
On a truly spectacular knockout victory give us your thoughts on how this fight played out.
Dios es grande.
God is great.
Voy a seguir hacia adelante.
I'm going to keep going forward.
Para la meta que Dios me ha puesto.
For what God has given me, the belt.
Yoel, please take a look at the big screen. Michael Bisping's giving you the thumbs down and the bird.
I love you, Mike. I love you, Mike. You say something like this for me, and now I say you. I love you. See you soon, boy. Many celebrated together. I am ready. 5 weeks more.
Yes.
Super nice guy, but when
When
anything related with competition, you're talking
Yeah.
about a pissing contest or a spitting contest, he's trying to fucking outdo you.
Well, think
million
about
miles
where
per
he
hour.
came up from. I mean, what made him is that Cuban program.
Yeah.
They turn you into a machine.
Yeah. And that's all you got over there. It's either that or be like everybody else, broke
Yeah.
and in misery, you know?
Yep. I mean, it's really kind of incredible that you get him essentially at your age just making his debut.
You could see from fight to fight just how much he's evolving. You know, he's like, this wrestling stuff is cool, but I need to knock people the fuck out.
And he still looks fucking great. He's fighting in Bellator now, right? He still looks fucking great.
At 205.
It's incredible. I mean, what a extraordinary human being.
Huge fan of that guy. I've been watching him since his freshman year, but I hate when this motherfucker goes with me on the mat. He is a fucking nightmare, bro.
I can imagine.